everyone, it's Maki. The story of Hathaway's Flash is becoming increasingly exciting. With the release of the second movie, the excitement has reached an even higher level. Today, I'm going to discuss an important analysis that relates directly to the ending of the story. It's about Kenneth's trap. Kenneth's leg is one of the story's key figures. In the second movie, we see a different side of him than in the original novel. Please be careful. I'll be discussing spoilers for the second movie today. I will also talk about spoilers from the original novel. This includes crucial information relating to the ending of the story. If you want to watch the movie without knowing any details beforehand, it might be better to skip today's episode. Are you ready? If you're enjoying the channel, please consider joining the 99 cents per month membership to support me. As a thank you, you'll receive a name badge and custom comment stamps. Now, let's begin the analysis. Do you remember something I mentioned on my channel before? The staff shared a comment during a stage greeting event held in Japan. They said in the second movie, we presented elements necessary for the completion of the story. Sure enough, a clear hint about the story appeared in the film itself. It appears in the conversation about the Valiant. The Valiant also serves as Mafty's base. In one scene, Hathaway and mechas talk. In that scene, Hathaway lectures mechas about a mobile suit engine. This content does not exist in the original novel. It was deliberately added for the movie version. However, it does not seem to connect to the main storyline of the second film. At first, it seems meaningless, but it would be inappropriate to dismiss it as mere small talk. In the real world, there is a literary technique known as Chekhov's gun. This literary technique is named after the playwright Anton Chekhov. Simply put, it's the idea that unnecessary elements should not be included in the story. Any element introduced should be meaningfully utilized. For example, imagine a scene in which a gun is introduced. That gun must serve a purpose before the story concludes. Any element presented to the audience must effectively drive the narrative forward. This principle has become a guideline for many playwrights. Of course, there are exceptions. However, if you want to create a truly great story, it's crucial to understand and respect this concept. Even when creators choose to break this rule, they often do so with a deep understanding of Chekhov's theory, using it intentionally to provide audiences with a fresh, innovative experience. So, what exactly were mechas and Hathaway talking about? They were discussing how the Minovsky Ionesco-type thermonuclear reactor works. After hearing a mechanic say the mobile suit generator is shutting down, they began discussing it. The engine used in the mobile suit is a Minovsky Ionesco-type thermonuclear reactor. It was developed by physicist Randall Minovsky and his collaborator, Ionesco. Simply put, the engine operates because Minovsky particles exist. Hathaway explained this idea to mechas. Mechas then concludes so that means a mobile suit can't operate in place where Minovsky particles don't exist. Hearing this, Hathaway agrees. That's the gist of the conversation. If Minovsky particles are interfered with, the mobile suit engine will shut down. This conversation reminds me of something interesting. The Gerard appears in Reconquista in G, a story written by Yoshiyuki Tomino. The pilot, Kan-san, actually uses the term anti-Minovsky. The term is also mentioned in the official setting material. the official guidebook. However, the exact meaning of anti-Minovsky remains unclear. Is it a phenomenon, or is it the name of a device? In the second movie, we saw the shelf nozzle technology from Gundam F91. Perhaps anti-Minovsky will make an appearance in the third installment of Hathaway's Flash. Now, let's discuss Kenneth's trap, which I mentioned at the beginning of this episode. At the climax of the movie, Kenneth stands in front of a large, mysterious machine. Then he strikes his own body with a riding crop. It's almost as if he's trying to motivate himself before carrying out the operation to defeat Maki. In the climax of the original novel, a beam barrier is used. The She-Gundam is restrained and brought to a halt using a device like a net woven from energy. When the story is recreated in video games, this beam barrier is used. Was the massive device Kenneth was looking at a beam barrier? We can't rule out that possibility completely. However, this climax scene differs significantly from the novel. Kenneth silently gazes at the device. There's no one around it. There are no workers or work mobile suits around. As I mentioned earlier, Kenneth silently strikes his own body with the riding crop. How is this portrayed in the novel? The beam barrier installation work was not completed in time for the operation to begin. By the time the Adelaide conference begins, the barrier is not yet fully installed. 10 minutes after the official start of the conference, we see Kenneth and Earth's Federation soldiers. Kenneth shouts at his subordinates, urging them to hurry and finish setting up the beam barrier. Frustrated, he even strikes a desk with his riding crop. Ultimately, the battle begins without sufficient testing or proper trial operation. However, the movie shows something completely different. As I explained earlier, preparations for the mysterious device were completed before the Adelaide conference. Kenneth stands before a fully prepared device and strikes his own body with the riding crop. It's almost as if he's disciplining himself so that he won't hesitate to take action against Hathaway, his close friend. I believe what Kenneth prepared is a device that triggers an anti-Minovsky phenomenon. There's little doubt that the movie's story will differ from the novels. Please share your thoughts in the comments if you'd like. Now, just a quick side note. It's about Chekhov's gun, which I discussed earlier in the episode. There are actually exceptions to this technique within the Gundam series as well. One example is G-Coax. In that story, elements are presented but never used. One of them is Diablo. This term appears after Near-An becomes a pilot for the Zeon forces. However, the meaning of Diablo is never explained in the television anime. Will the idea that the mobile suit engine shuts down when Minovsky particles are absent actually be used? Let's keep watching and find out together. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I'll see you in the next episode.